Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, the Oxford area may have missed the worst of Winter Storm Landon, but just an hour up the road, thousands of people in the Memphis area are feeling its effects. We'll take a look at the state of the area coming up.
After a 2-year break, Double Decker is coming back in April, and now the festival's lineup is official. Find out who is coming to Oxford straight ahead.
Look, I understand the disappointment many feel about the last election. I was on the ballot.
Making headlines today after taking a strong stance on the January 6th riots and former President Trump. Hear more from him coming up. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I am Juliana Jackson.
And I'm Gavin Norton. Well, thousands of Memphis gas, light, and water customers are still without power. This continuing from yesterday's weather-related outage. MLGW saying their crew is working around the clock to get power back on. Right now, there are more than 128,000 outages throughout MLGW's district. A spokesman for the company says they have 50 crews, including contractors, working to repair lines. The lines were damaged by the freezing rain yesterday, and now crews are warning about freezing pipes as the bad weather continues. Well, NewsWatch will keep you updated on the latest.
The discussion of medical marijuana continues after Governor Tate Reeves signed Mississippi's medical bill into law. The Mississippi State Department of Health plans to begin accepting online license applications from patients, medical practitioners, cannabis cultivation facilities, and many others as soon as June of this year. If you have any questions surrounding the newly formed program, you can email msmedicalcannabis@msdh.ms.gov.
Mississippi's involvement in alcohol distribution could be changing. The state legislator agreeing that the current Alcoholic Beverage Commission warehouse is outdated. Currently, all alcoholic beverages must pass through the ABC warehouse before being distributed. But now, the State House and State Senate are proposing different plans to streamline the process. The House wants to remove state involvement and decommission the warehouse completely, while the Senate proposed a new warehouse to the tune of around $50 million. Since the two chambers disagree on what should happen, it is likely the issue will soon go to conference. Here, the two sides would have to come up with a compromise.
Almost a year ago, Buddy the dog was nearly burned to death by a 12-year-old in Tate County. But now there's a bill in legislation to help protect troubled children and animals. Buddy's law would require counseling, psychological evaluations, and treatments for children who torment dogs or cats. Studies show there have been correlations between child animal abusers and repeated offenders. Senator Angela Hill says this bill can only do good and could help change the cycle in violence. The bill was set for July 1st, but according to Senator Hill, she is considering making the bill go into effect upon passage.
For the last 2 years, one of Oxford's biggest weekends has been put on hold, but now we are just months away from the return of Double Decker. And yesterday, the festival announced its official musical lineup, including a familiar face for NewsWatch viewers. NewsWatch reporter Tucker Lewis caught up with the festival's coordinator to take a look at this year's festivities. You can find all the information you'll need ahead of the festival on its website, doubledeckerfestival.com. Well, if you've been waiting for your first rodeo, the National Rodeo is coming to Lafayette County. Lafayette County Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association Rodeo will be held at 7:30 on February 11th and 12th. The rodeo will include professional cowboys competing for a world championship race. Other events include bareback riding, steer wrestling, calf roping, and bull riding. Tickets are $20 for adults, $15 for children aged 3 through 12, and children under 3 visit for free. The gates open at 5 p.m. And now an update on campus COVID cases. Currently, the number of campus cases sits at 49, which is down from Wednesday's count of 88. Of these 49, 39 are students and 10 are staff and faculty members. Statewide, we are sitting at 7,839 with 39 new cases, and I'm so sorry, let me reread that for you. We're not sitting at that many, we're only looking at 37 deaths in the past 2 weeks, but these numbers are up a few from earlier this week. Don't worry, NewsWatch will continue to keep you updated on COVID updates.
During the challenging years of 2020 through 2021, Kroger and the Grove Grocery was there to help students with food insecurity issues. They provided over 9,000 free meals last year. To ensure this resource continues to serve the University of Mississippi community, Kroger has committed to continue helping Grove Grocery provide meals and food for the next 5 years. The partnership began in 2019. In 2020, a survey found that 41.4% of Ole Miss students were food insecure. Grove Grocery helps meet that need by supplying food, as well as hygiene and cleaning products to students and faculty at no charge. There's no application process, so this means everyone is eligible for this resource.
And the job report from January shows promising signs of economic growth. Find out just how hopeful experts are coming up. But here, a first look at your current conditions.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
America, land of the free. It's at the core of who we are. Freedom. The freedom to live without fear, to drive through all 50 states, to sleep safely in our own beds, the freedom to jog where we please, to watch birds in the park, to wear a hoodie, the freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because no matter your religion, gender, disability, age, race, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I apologize, but some technical difficulties earlier prevented us from showing you this package that we have. We have a report from our reporter in the field, Tucker Lewis, on the Double Decker Festival, who just released their latest lineup. Check it out.
The Double Decker Arts Festival will take place in Oxford this April for the first time in 2 years. Coordinator Leanne Stubbs announced the return of the popular event and the music lineup today during the press conference. She says it's a relief to finally have the 25th annual Double Decker happen.
Like I said, we've planned it so many different times. Everybody's been disappointed, and so I have a good feeling. I'm happy and excited that we can finally do this and celebrate together.
Former Ole Miss baseball player and country music star Brett Young will perform on Friday, while alternative rock band The Revivalists will lead on Saturday.
We've tried to get the revivals in the past. It's never worked out for their routing purposes, and this year it just kind of fell in place to where we could get them. And so we're excited.
Local band Happy Landing will also perform during the event, and lead singer and guitarist Matthew Henley says the band members are excited to play at home.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of surreal. Like, as an Ole Miss student, you fall in love with Double Decker, right? And, you know, as a musician, you can always see yourself, imagine yourself on stage, but to be actually doing it is like a whole different thing. It's just wild.
In just over 2 months, the stage for the Double Decker musical acts will be just behind me. Hopefully, these streets will be full of thousands of people instead of rain. NewsWatch Ole Miss, Tucker Lewis.
Former Vice President Mike Pence fought back against former President Trump's claims that he could have overturned the election. Results today in a speech in front of the Federalist Society. It was the strongest remark against the former president that Pence has made since the riot.
But President Trump is wrong. I had no right to overturn the election. The presidency belongs to the American people and the American people alone. Men and women, if we lose faith in the Constitution, we won't just lose elections. We'll lose our country.
Pence went on to say that current Vice President Kamala Harris would have no right to overturn a Republican victory in 2024. Pence also urged President Biden to consider all possible nominees for the Supreme Court and not decide based on race and gender.
And President Biden celebrated the January job report today, which exceeded expert predictions despite surging coronavirus cases. CNN's Karen Kafa has a look at the numbers.
The January jobs report brought good news for workers, the U.S. economy, and President Joe Biden.
Our country is taking everything that COVID has to throw at us, and we've come back stronger.
Despite the Omicron surge forcing workers to take leave for illness, to care for sick relatives, or kids out of school, the Labor Department said U.S. employers added 467,000 jobs during the first month of 2022, beating mainstream economists' expectations. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4% as more Americans actively sought employment. Among sectors posting gains, leisure and hospitality adding 151,000 jobs, transportation and warehousing amid supply chain concerns adding 54,000. The administration says the U.S. economy is starting to move past the pandemic.
I don't think we are, fully post-pandemic, but I would say certainly the worst is behind us.
But with recovery challenges, like vacancies employers struggle to fill. As of December, U.S. employers had 10.9 million open jobs, gas prices creeping back up, and wages unable to keep pace with inflation.
The last time we saw inflation like this was 40 years ago. That's 2 generations ago. So a lot of Americans just have never seen anything like this, and it really hurts.
The economy poised to be a major issue for Biden and Democrats in the midterm elections just 8 months away. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And supply chain issues continue to cause delays. Florists now experiencing supply issues less than 2 weeks before Valentine's Day.
The U.S. is aiming to combat China's market-distorting trade practices as the House passed a bill that would make the U.S. more competitive to counter the growing economic influence in China. The tally was passed on a near-part line vote at a 222 to 210. There is a split of opinion between Democrats and Republicans. The Republican Party believes it is a waste of money and that it will not effectively counter China, while Democrats are hailing this legislative victory because it continues President Biden's plan of Build Back Better. The bill includes billions of dollars for funding for American manufacturing and scientific research, with a focus on American development of the chips which are causing the vehicle shortage.
For those hoping to cruise and booze en route to your vacation destination, I have good news. Alcoholic beverages are back on Southwest Airlines flights. At least they will be starting February 16th. The airline reduced beverage offerings during the pandemic, just stocking some sodas, juice, and coffee. But soon, flights will have beer, wine, and liquor for sale, and some more non-alcoholic drinks for free. Southwest says customers can use their 2020 and 2021 drink coupons throughout the end of this year.
If you're subscribed to Amazon Prime, this may come as a surprise to you. Amazon will be raising the price of the Prime membership by $20, making it a whopping $139 per year, while a monthly version will be $2 extra than the standing price now. Amazon says they are raising their prices because of their extended services such as Prime Video and same-day shipping. This also leads to raised labor and transportation costs affecting all sorts of different goods and industries.
Well, in sports-related news, Dan Snyder now is facing another sexual harassment case. The newly named NFL team, the Washington Commanders manager, being accused of sexual misconduct. Former cheerleader Tiffany Johnson told a House Oversight Committee yesterday that Snyder put her up in a compromising position during a work dinner. Johnson also said that later that same night, he aggressively pushed her towards his limousine with his hand on her lower back as she fended off advances. Former production manager told lawmakers Snyder requested he produce a video of lewd cheerleaders without their knowledge. The manager said the video was supposed to feature nude outtakes from a photo shoot. Snyder has denied all of the allegations.
In other sports-related news, the Winter Olympics are underway after this morning's opening ceremonies. But the sports are largely being overshadowed by international politics. World leaders usually crowd the opening ceremony, but this year, the United States and many other Western countries may be sending their athletes, but diplomats are boycotting the games. Citing human rights abuses by China, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in Beijing for the games and met with Russian President Xi Jinping before the ceremony. Together, they called for a stop to NATO expansion as Russia continues to oppose Ukraine's membership.
Well, the National Basketball Association revealed a newly designed Kobe Bryant trophy today. The trophy is given to the most valuable player of the NBA All-Star Game. It was renamed for Bryant following his 2020 death in a helicopter crash. The 8-sided base represents Bryant's number 8 jersey, and the 18 stars are for all of his 18 star selections. 3 levels are 7, 9, and 11 inches high, all to commemorate Bryant's All-Star Game MVPs in 2007, 2009, and 2011. The trophy will be awarded to whichever player is named MVP at the All-Star Game on February 20th.
And coming up in sports, Ole Miss baseball coach Mike Bianco will once again be donning a Team USA uniform. Find out what role he'll have with the team coming up. And Rebel basketball player Deshaun Ruffin is out for the season due to injury. I'll have that and more up next in sports.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
On October 15, 2017, 2 words changed the course of history. The words we wrote that day are a part of a longer and even more powerful history.
The wounds become scars.
Things are changing. We really need everyone's voices.
Today, we all have a chance to write another chapter, powered by everyday activism as simple as joining a march or reading a book, written to a permanent archive on a public blockchain.
Because it takes a sea of us coming forward to demand change.
Because no matter who you are, you can act too. The end of sexual violence begins with this next act.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
Rebel head baseball coach Mike Bianco will be representing the Stars and Stripes as the manager of the 2022 USA Baseball Collegiate National Team. This will be the second time Coach Bianco has coached for USA Baseball. The first time was in 2013, when he served as the pitching coach for the Collegiate National Team. Bianco described representing the United States as a dream come true scenario. Bianco is the winningest coach in Ole Miss baseball history and the third winningest SEC baseball coach of all time. It is safe to say that the USA Baseball Collegiate team will be in good hands this year. And now taking things over to the hardwood, the 25th ranked Ole Miss women's basketball team was victorious last night on the road, defeating Missouri by a score of 61-45. This was the 7th road win of the season for the Rebels, the most they've had in a season since the 1993 campaign. Ole Miss was active on the glass, out-rebounding Mizzou 38-26, and they also had 12 steals. It was Shakira Austin leading the way offensively. She had 17 points and shot 7 of 9 from the field. The Rebels will now turn their attention to a pivotal SEC matchup at the Pavilion with number 15 LSU on Monday, February 7th. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. And keeping things on the court, the Ole Miss men's basketball team is preparing for a big matchup with Florida in Gainesville. The Rebels are seeking their 3rd straight win, as well as a season sweep over the Gators. The Rebels come in at 3-6 in SEC play and fresh off a win against LSU, where they got things going offensively and didn't let off the gas. Florida is 4-5 in conference play, and they are riding the momentum of 2 straight wins against Oklahoma State and Missouri. Tip-off from Exact Tech Arena in Gainesville is tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. And the Rebels will unfortunately have to go the rest of the season without guard Deshaun Ruffin. Ruffin went down with a knee injury late in the team's upset win against LSU on Tuesday night, and surgery will be required. Warning, the following clip may be disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. Head coach Kermit Davis says that Deshaun was establishing himself as one of the best point guards in the SEC, and that he knows the Jackson native will return even stronger next season. We wish Deshaun all the best in his recovery process, and we cannot wait to see him back on the court next season. And ending things off on the links, Ole Miss golf senior Jackson Suber is set to participate in the 2022 Jones Cup Invitational at Ocean Forest Golf Club in Sea Island, Georgia. The tournament runs from February 4th to 6th, and it features 84 of the top amateur golfers in the world. And this tournament is classified as a Category A tournament in the World Amateur Golf Ranking, meaning it is one of the top 30 amateur tournaments in the world. Suber is coming in hot. He posted a stroke average of 69.17 in the fall season, and he is currently on track to break the Ole Miss record for lowest stroke average in a season. And that's all I've got for sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at rebel_watch for the latest sports updates.
Thanks, Carson. Well, a photographer in Hawaii says he feels lucky to have captured a beautiful moment in nature. Stay tuned to see which friendly fish he saw and exactly what they were doing that was so special.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove. You told me not to do drugs. You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
Peanut butter? We need to hurry. You're late. You need to finish, please. I gotta get him changed, okay?
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
We are Ole Miss Rebels.
As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Jacob Vandervelde said he was on the shore near Waimea Bay in Oahu, and he saw water spouting up from a whale's blowhole about 200 yards away. It was a little far to fly his drone, but Vandervelde decided to take the chance to see if he could get it on video.
And take a look, a whale and a dolphin spinning and playing together in the ocean, sharing such a moment of zen. Vandervelde says it was like finding a needle in a haystack. He said he had never seen anything like it, but he sees it as a sign of hope.
Now, since we're already talking about aquatics, what's happening tomorrow?
That's right. We have land sharks, we have gators, and they're meeting on the hardwood. Isn't that right, Carson?
That's right. Yeah, I think we've got a resilient group battling some injuries, but it's next man up mentality. We've beaten this team before, so I think we get the win tomorrow.
That's great. Maybe it really is a sign of hope that dolphins and whales are playing together in Hawaii. Well, that's all we have for tonight from NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Gavin Norton.
And I am Juliana Jackson. Be sure to follow us on social media at NewsWatch Ole Miss for the latest updates on Ole Miss and beyond.
Thank you, and good night.